Good afternoon. We're going into the closing day right here. I have before us is a 15-minute chart on the S&P 500 that had been overbought from its big rallies. And you can clearly see on 3-3 that this correction had started right here. And then today's date, you went straight down and you hit these lows here. And the low for today is exactly 2096 right now. Then we hit 994 early on, 2094 early on, and now we're bouncing off of these bottoms. I'm using that 15-minute chart specifically for this core reason. What I'm going to talk about again, everybody, is that the last week options changed, and we're looking at the 21 call versus the 21 put. Now I'm going to show a call and put chart, and all you gamers out here have been trying to trade these things. You've never seen a call or put chart, so here, let's do this. Just for the sake of argument, you can see the 15-minute correction. I'm going to go to the index put option, the 2100, and I'm going to put the 2100 put option right here, and I'm going to bring it over here on a 15-minute chart. Now, that was at a high of $28 a contract, and then we popped down here slightly around 20 and a half, and they popped back up here to 24. But just remember one thing. This is a put chart on that S&P 500 March. And you can see here from $28, they went crashing right down there. And I will also show you the volume. They bought here, let's get this here. 6,556 put options have been bought. And we told everybody that when we had hit that last move, that this volatility will come back in the market. So yesterday's close was 1870, and that is on the S&P 500 put and versus the call that I showed. You can see right here that the $2,100 call, this is the call went down to $15. That's a $2,100 call, and that's a 320 monthly option. It's not a weekly. And I will be happy to show you on this very same 15-minute chart that these calls were clear up here and they were inflated and they were going to come down. And they certainly have been a great payer on that intraday. And like I said, everybody, they bought 6,300 more contracts on this particular contract, the 2,100 call versus that 2,150 put. So I just want everyone to see that. Not only do I want you to see that, we started doing this a while back. And you can clearly see in the net change right here of what this is minus 22.5% net change. Here's another call contract, the 2095. It's minus 36% net change. Here, let's go find us another overbought call. Yes, you heard what I said, an overbought call. Here's another one. The last print was $32. Negative change right here. High was $36.70 and $32. That's in the money though, and that one will continue to pay. The put side of the market in the intraday process and very short time frame is paying money, and I have the S&P 500 call and put charts right here. And I'm also happy to show you that this is the S&P $2,100 call that was overbought versus that $2,100 put. And we're going to go back and see the range again. This is a 15-minute chart on the S&P. This is where that reversal started. It could not break up through here on that resistance. And what it did right there at that pivot line, it got slammed. Look, these markets are overbought, and I said that. Yes, they've had a great rally to make new highs. But once again, Short term, everybody, the S&P 500 is overbought, and how to trade the S&P 500 index options. Here's the other thing that you could do for yourself, and everything that we do on the S&P, you can go to trading right now on that S&P. And I talked about the nasdaq hitting a 15-year high, and it too is overbought. Nobody ever thought that was going to happen. But if you'd like to go back in here and look at all of our Dow Jones S&P 500 way down here, that was a breakout that we traded to the upside, and that was a monthly chart at that time. And all you have to do, everybody, is just go here, go S like this, SP 500 in the search box. Okay, and then hit enter. And we will talk about all of the S&P 500s in here, and you can go back and look at every time we call the bottom or every time we call for a correction. It's all right here before everybody. It was all done before the fact, not after the fact. So once again, I'm going to conclude an overbought S&P 500. In the very short term, we have called for a pullback that could lead into a much bigger correction that is coming.